been a few weeks since you've heard from me. I was sick. I'm back now, and tonight I take a ton of notes. Got my notebook here. When I read, I highlight tons of stuff. I go back, reread it, and then write it. And just a way for me to really get into my mind what's important, anything I can take from the book. I just finished reading The 50th Law by 50 Cent and Robert Greene. Excellent book, highly recommend it. Look for it on my website soon. But I wanted to talk about some of the principles in here that we can all use, so I wanted to read you a section here. And I'll be writing a newsletter on some of this stuff coming up, and you'll be able to see it on my blogs. Okay, this chapter starts with respect to process, mastery. It says, the fools in life want things fast and easy: money, success, attention. Boredom is their great enemy and fear. Whatever they manage to get slips through their hands as fast as it comes in. You, on the other hand, want to outlast your rivals. You are building the foundation for something that continue to expand. To make this happen, you have to serve an apprenticeship. You must learn early on to endure the hours of practice and drudgery, knowing that in the end all of that time will translate into a higher pleasure, mastery of a craft and of yourself. Your goal is to reach the ultimate skill level, and an intuitive feel for what must come next. I think that's, what they say right there is key. The process. You're not only learning to master, whatever your career is, whatever your skill is, you're learning to master yourself. When I competed in bodybuilding, I wasn't learning how to master bodybuilding, although I learned a lot of stuff. I was more learning how to discipline myself and push myself places where I couldn't normally go. And I was able to take those principles and now I can apply them to every other area of my life, like my passion for being a strength coach, whatever I decide to put my mind to. Another thing I was reading today was saying you must, and I've talked about this before, place yourself in unfamiliar territories, okay, in novel situations. Your brain thrives on that. They were talking about a story of Frank Lloyd Wright, the famous architect who never designed two buildings that looked the same, and he questioned why does everything have to look the same? Why is everybody getting the same type of model house? So he had a wealthy man one time asked him to design something, and around a house near a waterfall, and Frank Lloyd Wright said, I'll do it, and purposely he waited. He kept waiting. Finally, after a couple months, the guy calls him and says, I want to see my plans. Frank Lloyd Wright says, okay, come over in an hour. I've had them done. And meanwhile, he hadn't done anything. But he knew if he put his mind under pressure, under the timeline, his creativity would be forced to come to the forefront. And he wound up designing what is now known as his most famous house, his most famous piece of, architecture. And it was designed with the waterfall inside of it rather than just near it. So you really got to put the mind in situations where it's not comfortable, where it's under pressure. So sometimes, that would be the only time it's good to procrastinate, is when you got to put it under the gun. And like I said, just learning to master yourself. And I've talked about that a lot, getting up earlier, putting yourself in situations you're not comfortable with, and discipline. Self-discipline is the key to everything. You have to be disciplined to get what you want out of life. Peace.